If you're looking for the Wonyoung mindset, you're really pointing at a way of thinking that looks effortless on the outside but is built on constant awareness, control, and discipline on the inside, is often seen as confident, polished, and always composed whether she's on stage, at an event, or just walking into a room. But that kind of image doesn't happen naturally all the time. It comes from a mindset that is trained, repeated, and maintained every day, even when it's tiring or uncomfortable. At the center of this mindset is awareness. Not just basic awareness, but a constant attention to how you present yourself. Every movement, every expression, every small action is controlled. The way you stand, the way you smile, the way you react, nothing is random. This doesn't mean being fake, but it does mean being intentional. Most people move through life without thinking about these details. They sit however they want, react without thinking, speak without filtering much. But a mindset like this works differently. It asks you to slow down and notice yourself from the outside, almost like you are watching your own behavior. This level of awareness can feel exhausting, and that's the uncomfortable truth. It looks easy when someone else does it, but practicing it yourself quickly shows how much effort it takes. You start to notice how often you lose focus, how often your posture drops, how often your expressions don't match what you want to show, and instead of ignoring it, you correct it again and again. That repetition is what builds the habit. Another important part is consistency. It's not enough to act confident or polished once in a while. The mindset is about showing up the same way every time. Even when you feel tired, distracted, or not in the mood, you still maintain a certain level of composure. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings completely, but it does mean not letting them control how you present yourself in public. That's where discipline comes in. Doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. There is also a strong sense of self-belief involved. Not loud confidence, not arrogance, but a quiet assumption that you belong where you are. When someone has this mindset, they don't constantly question whether they are good enough. They focus more on how they carry themselves than on seeking approval. This doesn't mean they never feel insecure. It means they don't let insecurity decide their behavior. At the same time, this mindset includes acceptance of pressure. Being in the public eye, especially in an industry like K-pop, means constant attention and criticism. People watch closely, judge quickly, and comment freely. If you try to avoid all criticism, you will end up holding yourself back. Instead, the mindset is about understanding that criticism will exist no matter what, and continuing anyway. Not every comment deserves a reaction. Not every opinion needs to be taken personally. Another uncomfortable truth is that this mindset requires control over emotions. Not suppression, but control. There is a difference. Suppression means ignoring emotions until they build up and cause problems. Control means feeling them, but choosing how and when to express them. In public, especially, reactions are measured. You don't show every frustration or every negative thought. You manage it internally and present a calmer version externally. There is also a focus on improvement. Even when things look perfect from the outside, there is always something being adjusted behind the scenes. Small details, posture, expressions, timing, speech are practiced and refined. This creates the illusion of effortlessness, but the reality is continuous effort. The mindset is not about reaching a final point where everything is perfect. It is about constant adjustment. Comparisons are another challenge. In a competitive environment, it is easy to look at others and feel behind, but a mindset like this tries to reduce that habit. Instead of focusing on what others are doing, the focus stays on personal growth. What can be improved today? What can be done better next time? This shift is important because comparison often leads to distraction and insecurity. There is also an understanding of image, not in a shallow way, but as a form of communication. The way you present yourself sends a message, whether you intend it or not. A polished image can create opportunities, build trust, and influence how people respond to you. This doesn't mean losing your personality. It means shaping how that personality is shown. The difficult part is maintaining balance. If the focus on image and control becomes too strong, it can lead to pressure and burnout. Always being aware, always adjusting, always performing, it can feel like there is no break. That's why it's important to have moments where the control relaxes, where you can be less structured and more natural. Without that, the mindset becomes too heavy to maintain. Another key part is patience. Results don't come instantly. Building confidence, improving posture, refining behavior, these take time. At first, it feels unnatural. You have to remind yourself constantly. But over time, it becomes automatic. What once required effort starts to feel normal. There is also a level of independence in this mindset. Instead of relying on others for validation, the focus shifts inward. You decide your standards, you decide what is good enough. This reduces the need for constant approval, which can be unstable and unpredictable.